Biafrans, good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on your time zone. I salute each and every one of you this morning, the 15th day in the month of the Lord, September, in the year 2024. I greet you all, Biafrans, men and women of goodwill. I greet our Prime Minister MAZI Simon Ekpa mejiri gbuo agụ ndị ilo si n'ọdụrụ nkọ mana ha ekwetago na anyanwụ mmadụ nkọ. I want to greet all of you immensely this day, Sunday, 15th in the year 2024. I greet all of you. We are going into an update. We have an update on our leader, MAZI NNAMDI KANU, on his health issue. And you know, these are factors that we can never overlook, because all the things that we are doing, while we are doing them, is for the release of our leader, MAZI NNAMDI KANU. And the Biafra, which nobody will come to kidnap us in any country where we reside or in anywhere we go, where our life will be protected. That is why we are fighting, and that is why we will not stop talking about our leader. He is the reason for the season. If not that he answered the call that Elohim called him, maybe today nobody will be talking about Biafra, because Wazirike already has given up on all the things. All of them has dropped their boots because Nigeria have showed them paper. But MAZI NNAMDI KANU said no, never will he surrender and leave this very struggle that Elohim called him for. So Biafrans, we ndị a na-enye nri n'ọnụ, ndị Igbo si nọ ndị a na-enye nri n'ọnụ na da akpụkete nso a na-enye ya nri, and onye a na-edije ka o je mkposi onye na-ada ebu ụzọ. So that's why we'll be the ones at the forefront, because if there are people that this freedom, that needs this freedom the more, it is us. It's we, the common man, that needs this freedom the more. It is our children, our unborn children, that need this freedom the more. MAZI NNAMDI KANU, in the actual sense, if you should judge, did not really need this freedom. Why? Because he's already comfortable where he is. He already have a fulfilled dream and a fulfilled destiny. But he said no, that one of his dreams and destiny, that the reason Elohim created him is for him to liberate the Biafrans. And if he leave this work undone, he have not fulfilled the destiny. He have not fulfilled any dream. And that is why he will never capitulate nor abandon this struggle of restoration of Biafra. Likewise, MAZI Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, mejiri gbuo agụ. If you judge it in the real sense, he don't really need the freedom. He's already made. He's already comfortable where he is. He's a good politician, not these wicked ones that are stealing your future, that are stealing the future, your own. They steal the future of your fathers. They steal your own future. And they want to steal the future of the unborn generation. These are not the type of people we're talking about. But MAZI NNAMDI KANU stood firm on the gap. That's why we will never say a word without mentioning this, our living hero. So today we will be giving you an update on his health issue, the last visit to the DSS terrorist dungeon in the Zoological Republic. We'll be bringing the update to you in a short while. But before then, let's listen to this great man. Let's listen to this great man that the Zoological Republic are going gaga over. But this year, Elohim, in his mercy, will rise on his throne and show the Biafrans the mercy that the world will stand still and watch. Thank you. Share the program as you come in. Invite others. Share it in as many as possible platform where you are. Share it and like the program and subscribe if you're first time. Let's listen to our video before we go to the analysis of those messages coming from the DSS dungeon concerning our leader, MAZI NNAMDI KANU. God bless you and remain blessed. Let's go there.
Of freedom, our Oduduwa brethren, even those from the Middle Belt who have now risen up to seek their self-determination, I welcome each and every one of you to this very special, very, very special broadcast on this very day, Sunday, the 16th of May in the year of the Most High Elohim, 2021. The time now is exactly 4 minutes past 7 p.m. in the land of Biafra. If you look at your timepiece, it is exactly 4 minutes past the top of the hour, regardless of where you are. We are live and we are direct, and the whole world is listening. The dead must be preached to the sons of men. As always, since I am welcoming you, please welcome other people as well, because there will not be a repeat of this type of broadcast ever again. It is only one in a million. Everybody must endeavor to listen very, very attentively. If you don't have your pen and your paper with you, I will even excuse you to try and get them. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to all of you who are listening, regardless of where you're domiciled. And as always, we are multicasting this very broadcast on a whole host of platforms. We are on Instagram. We are on Facebook, believe it or not. MAZI NNAMDI KANU. Some people don't believe it's mine, but it is. If you go there, you will be able to listen. Not on the page, because Facebook will allow me to broadcast or stream this very content live on my Facebook page. If you go to MAZI NNAMDI KANU, some of you know it. It is real, it is mine. If you go there, you should be able to listen. It is not a fan page, it's just an ordinary profile, ordinary page. If you go there, you should be able to listen to us. This very evening, we are on app, IPOB Community Radio. We are on Radio Biafra app. We are, if you want to listen to us, you should and must be able to listen to us, as long as you are in possession of an internet-enabled device. We are on satellite, we are on FM. Basically, we are everywhere. And I can assure you that the whole world is listening this evening, as they always do. And we are going to pray very, very shortly. My name is MAZI NNAMDI KANU. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, all over this very planet Earth, the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television, and by the very special grace of Almighty Creator in heaven, Chukwukika Biamapumi Helin Elohim Adonai El Shaddai, I will now and forever remain a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. A very special race, a very special breed, the children of the Most High, the sons of light, the daughters of enlightenment. I welcome each and every one of you. I'm going to pray very, very briefly, that we may commence what we have in store for you this evening. It will take us about 2 hours, or roughly 2 hours and a few minutes, give or take, either side, to bring to you what we have for you this very evening. Chineke nna nke pụrụ ihe niile, anyị kwere gị nkwa sị na nke ọjọọ ma anyị kelee gị, nke ọma ma anyị kelee gị. Na ndụ ndị a niile eji wee na-achụrụ gị aja, onye nwe m, n'oge erule mgbe ị ga-emejupụta nkwa nke ikwere ndị gị. N'oge ahụ bụ ugbu a, n'ihi na ị gbara anyị aka ma oge gara aga, tupu mmadụ wee si n'isi ha nọ wee hụ ụzọ, tupu ndị nọ n'ụlọ wee kunie iziri anyị ozi na mmụọ si anyị n'oge ga-abịa mgbe ndị Fulani ga-abata ala nsọ gị, na ha ga-ememili ụmụ mmadụ, na ha ga-egbu ndị mmadụ. Wee na-ebe akwa wee na-eti mkpu n'ime nrọ mgbe m na-akpọku aha nsọ gị, n'esighị onye dị nsọ ma ruo mgbe ebighị bụ gịnị ka anyị ga-eme? Nwa okwu nke gwara m nke m ziri ndị dị ndụ nna nke bere dị ngọzi, isi m na ha ga-egbu anyị, anyị onwe anyị ga-egbukwa ha, iweta m azụ na anyị ga-enwe nwere onwe. Ọ bụ ihe anyị na-arịọ gị eze ebube dị ngọzi, n'ihi na anyị agaghị ahapụ gị wee fee arụsị ma ọ bụ fee nghọta nke mmadụ dị ndụ. Ọ bịa mere n'ala nsọ gị eze ebube dị ngọzi ka anyị nwe arọ Chukwu, ndị nsọ Open a land so you can when they are not born. Open a land so you can when they are not born. The children of the kingdom of heaven in Enugu State. The children of the kingdom of heaven, a name that came before white people even brought their Bible to us. We answer Umuchuku, we answer Obase, we answer Tamono. These are your names, but these are also the names that we bear to say that the time has come for you to come down from heaven, that thy will upon the lives of your children may be done in our lifetime. And that time has come, and it is Biafra. Because you told me that they will invade our land, and that invasion has commenced. They have come, as you promised me. So in the coming weeks and months, men and women are going to die. But after that, Biafra shall be restored. We want to be alive in the land of the living to give your name praise, adoration, adulation, exaltation, and glory. Because Biafra is yours, now and forevermore we pray. He said. Very many years ago, I told you something that has come to light this very day. That in time to come, that the Janjaweed will come into our land. And they have come. The funniest thing is that they did not just come into our land, they are also in Yoruba land as we speak. And I'm sure that the revelations I have to make this evening, the zoo will be astonished. I'm even sure that the British intelligence services do not have what we have in our possession this very evening. And I'm sure that the Fulani Janjaweed who are in control of Abubakar Yusuf Mohammed, the idiot from Niger Republic wearing Buhari mask, do not even know what I'm talking about. But this evening, the zoo will be shocked to understand that there is nothing they do, there is no move they make that we are not aware of. But first of all, I'm going to start with an article that I saw in one of the online newspapers in the zoo. It's from Sahara Reporters. And I was absolutely astonished when I saw it, because I didn't quite believe that they were capable of publishing such a material. We are living in very strange times, I can assure you. I never believed that they are capable of publishing this, but I'm going to read it for you by way of a preamble to build the foundation upon which our discourse this evening is going to rest. That is why I said I'm going to speak very slowly so that you can understand every single word, every single syllable that I pronounce, because this very broadcast will not be like any other, I assure you. Your pen and paper must be very close to you. And I want TK to understand as soon as we finish this very program, I want it to be put on MP3 and be switched. Security Network, a terrorist group, by Adebayo.
Hold on, I don't know if it's the network.
No, it is an organized Fulani banditry regime. Fulani Caliphate is in charge of everybody right now in the zoo.
There's something our leader said here that I want to bring out before we go to the message. before we go to the message that is coming from the DSS dungeon, just listen to this. I want you to listen to this message. There's something our leader said. You know, every message that our leader preached from that May, this message was made on Sunday, May 16th, 2021. These are some of the last messages that our leader gave before sent out, before they kidnap, before they went to Kenya and kidnap him. And if you listen to our leader here, he said that this message is never going to be like any other message. He told the Biafrans then that everybody should listen attentively. I'll be bringing to us some of those last messages of our leader, MAZI NNAMDI, and some of the prophecies that he made there that will make you, that said you are a Biafran, to have a very high hope and stand very tall and know that these are the things that our leader has given the prophecy that it will happen, and today it is happening. That's why we must listen to this message. There's something he said here. I want you to hear it also yourself.
Now manage to get into the minds of the people, and that is why they are able to wreak havoc. And I want everybody, those of you from the Middle Belt, those of you from the South, those of you who are still in support of One Nigeria, I want you to understand what is to come. As a result of your foolishness and your stupidity, you are handing over your land to Fulani people, and I'm going to prove it to you this very.
When our leader is making this statement, that both of you, some of you in Middle Belt, remember when our leader is making this statement, Obadiah Lafia is still very much alive. Obadiah Lafia have not been killed as at the time our leader is making this statement. Ghana from Benue State is still very much alive at the time our leader is making this statement. But our leader warned Governor Otton, some of the things that is happening today in Benue State and the Middle Belt was as a result of lily-liveredness of Governor Otton. Because if it's for Otton seeing what is to come, Otton saw what is happening. Otton as a governor is receiving some intels that you as an ordinary person will not have access to. He received all these intels. The only thing Otton did is to recruit vigilante members and give them pumping action against people that are coming with RPGs and AK-47. And people that are coming against you with the revolver. You went and recruit your people with pumping action. And now writing to the same federal government that are the ones championing your annihilation, to approve you of AK-47 to equip your people to fight against them. Who does that? Our leader said that some of them that are supporting One Nigeria today, because they all believe that there's something you will do to make Nigeria better. That what you need in Nigeria is a leadership. You don't need a good leadership in Nigeria, because you can never raise a competent leadership in a corrupt system. Nigeria is decayed and corrupt. There's nothing you will do in this whole wide world to salvage it. And this is what our leader, MAZI NNAMDI, is pointing at the time. But instead of these people to support Obadiah Lafia, because already Obadiah Lafia sent a delegate. Let me tell you, because Obadiah is no more here. Obadiah Lafia sent a delegate to meet MAZI NNAMDI at Afaruku Ibeku, and they came. Those delegates they sent came for two purposes. One is to beg the Biafrans to ask for their forgiveness for what they helped the Fulani to do 1967-1970. They turned their back on the Biafrans. They were even enjoying the death of our people. They joined the Fulani to call us a Nyamri, that you are secessionists at the time. They came to ask for forgiveness, and they came to ask to tell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, in this struggle for Biafra to liberate everybody from the slavery of Nigeria, from the shackle that from the slavery that Britain has put everybody, that he shouldn't leave them behind, that there's nothing they can do because they have already been conquered by these people. And the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu give them his word. This is what that brought about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu at the time giving order that those in the media should stop using Hausa Fulani. Go and listen to our early messages that the Biafra broadcasters were broadcasting. We summoned them Hausa Fulani, but after this move that Obadiah Malabi and some other persons that I will not mention their name made, there was a shift. Our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came out and said, all those in the media should cease aligning the Middle Beltans with the Fulanis, that they are not the same. And he went a long way to explain it to everybody, and we changed that narrative that made it possible that the elders of the Middle Belters came out open, because these are some of the things that are in the agreement that was made. They came out open to disassociate themselves from the North, that they are not Northerners. And the Ariwa Consultative Forum that are making meetings, that are doing meeting every time and including them on their nonsense orders, that the Igbos living in the North will soon be chased out, that they should do, that they should exclude them from such utterances, that they are not one and the same, that they are Kwararafa people. That is their nation. What am I saying? I want to call your mind back to what happened in the past, because one of the diseases and one thing that the spirit of one Nigeria, don't forget that topic. I've not dropped it, but the happenings as it's happening, we have to update you before we go back to what we are unveiling and digging out. The spirit of one Nigeria, one of the things that he did to you is that you forgot yesterday quickly. If something happened now, and you were asked of that in tomorrow, you said, you see that same thing that happened yesterday that you lamented about, happening again, repeating itself. That is history, repeating itself. You will say, no, that one is yesterday that is happened now. This one is today. So we have to treat it. Those that the one Nigerian spirit is working seriously in their life do not know how to align the past to the future, to know when history is repeating itself, to know when what that have hurt you yesterday is coming to put you in a jeopardy in the future that you're living in. This is one thing that the Elohim liberated the Biafrans from, that we are able to recall our ordeals of yesterday, that we are able to recall what is happening today to us and what is coming from the past, trying to enforce himself to our presence. This is the only gift that God, Elohim, the creator of heaven and earth, gives to the Biafrans, that extinguished us from every other ethnic nationality in the contraption called Nigeria. And that is why the Biafrans can never be suppressed in Nigeria. And that's why we can never be, they can never use tyranny and intimidation to cage us in the contraption, because we know where we're coming from, and because we know what we want, and we know what Elohim wants from us, and we know the deposit of God in our life, the talent, the things He's deposited in us. We are not meant to be people that will be bowing down to any human being in this planet Earth. That is who we are. It's not pride. That is the way Elohim made us to be. And this is the thing that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was warning the Kwararafa people, the Middle Belt, the Yorubas, warning them off. Because the plan of the Fulanis, these jihadis, their plan before is that already they are in a good relationship with the Yorubas. They will use the gullible ones among them, those people that are their chiefs, that are their governors, those ones they call elite. They will use them. They already bought them already. With the things that they are benefiting, they will think that they are in the same frequency with the Fulanis, and they will take over their forest. It was the Biafrans that was pointing at our prime minister at the time, was calling the Oduduwas, telling them that they should go to Ondo Forest, that Ondo Forest have been taken over by the terrorists. Sunday Igboho swept into action, because that was the voice that went up Sunday Igboho. None of them wanted to wake up before. They were just doing political correctness or something, thinking that the only mad people that you have in Nigeria is the Biafrans. Because since 1914 to date, British, if you ask them, will tell you that the Biafrans don't go there. These people will see you 1 million years even before you see them. And this is the reason these people have made up their mind. They made up their mind before to first attack the Biafrans and make sure they clip our wings. To make sure that they cut off the wings of the Biafrans to suppress us with the help of the Yorubas. But because MAZI, NNAMDI, KANU and Simon Ekpa was giving them the intel of what is happening around them, and warning them, if you allow these people have their way, your land, everything that has to do with your ancestral home will be a thing of the past. Your land will be taken away from you and it will be renamed. And many of them thought that is a joke. The Middle Belt allowed Obadiah Malafia to be killed because of their weakness. Obadiah Malafia died out of ignorance of the Middle Belt, not knowing that this is the only man, this is their Joshua, this is their Moses, this is the only man that with his wing, they will get out of the tyrannical rule of the British and Fulani over them. They allowed Ghana, the front man that would have been the hit man today. I hear a Middle Belt lady the other day. I think I played the video here for us. A Middle Belt, and one of their women was lamenting that they need the hitman. If there's any hitman left, this woman is just asking for, are there any man that have been sent by Elohim to save them from these terrorists, from this mayhem that are before them, that person should march forward, that they will support him. But the surprise, there's no man. Ghana has been eliminated. The terrorist soldiers of the Fulani cut his head off. In enticement that they give to Autumn. There's a letter I read for us long time ago. I will go to my archive and bring out that letter, and I will read it for us again in one of these in one of the days that we'll be doing program, for you to know that the Fulanis don't change in their plan. The only thing they do is that they strategize. If you find out the direction where they are going, if they call it Ruga before, they will tell you that this one now is no more Ruga, that this one is now a cattle colony. If they tell them that cattle colony is now, they will tell you that is now waterways bill. But where they are going is the same direction. They don't change in their plans. MAZI NNAMDI KANU at the time was calling on them and telling them, this way you people are going and supporting Nigeria, you guys are going to lose. They are going to slaughter your people on broad daylight, and nothing will happen. And they thought that MAZI NNAMDI KANU was just talking because he's a Biafra. Let's go back to the message of our leader. I salute you, my brother Emeni Kechibo. I see you from here. And my brother Sonny. Sonny, you are the first here. I salute you. And every other person out there that I'm not seeing from the screen. I can only see those that comment. So if I didn't mention your name, that means you did not comment. So I salute you anywhere you are. All protocols duly observed. Let's listen to this message. After which I will give you the situation, the terrible situation that MAZI NNAMDI KANU is going through, just because he give you an intel, not just an intel, he give you a prophecy of what is to come against you, that the enemy is coming to take your life, and not just your life, but your children, not just your children, and your unborn children. They want to useless you to the core, and this brought a heavy consequences on MAZI NNAMDI KANU. And even at that sacrifice, he said, if this is the last sacrifice I'm going to pay to make sure that Biafra come, to make sure that you that is out there are liberated, that is willing to do it. And today, MAZI NNAMDI KANU is still in DSS dungeon. Listen to our leader.
This very brilliant writer, Adebayo Rafe, went on to say that the news mediums reporting ESN as a terrorist group are doing a great disservice to the Nigerian people. Do you understand this very clearly? There are some media houses, some newspapers, and all the rest of them trying as much as they can, of course, with very limited success, to tag Eastern Security Network a terrorist group. Then why are they trying to do that? Why do you think they want to tag ESN a terrorist group? Not Fulani bandits, no, not Miet Yala, not at all.
You know the time that we are calling the ESN, during the era of ESN, when they were calling the ESN a terrorist group, everybody, both those that MAZI NNAMDI KANU was even fighting to liberate, join forces together. And who are the people? Fulani cannot just come and say, oh, ESN is now a terrorist group, because they know that they are the real terrorists. The terrorists cannot come out and label another person as terrorist. But you know now, a criminal is always the first person to call another person that is an innocent, that is an innocent man, to call the person a criminal. Do you know why? For him to cover up his main heinous crime that is committing, so that you will not even look his way. You'll be looking at innocent man and think he is what he is not. That is why all the media houses everywhere, and for them to legitimize what they are saying, they call the Ajanja weed, those that they call elite, those they handpicked and positioned among our people to do the bidding of the Fulani. They called them and tell them, Devil Mai and Ohaneze and some of them go to the media and call them, label them terrorists, and they all come out, all the Southeast governors. They all come out and say, from today, IPOB is now a terrorist organization. Chineke. And the Fulani, the herdsmen that are going on rampage on daily basis, slaughtering people in Benue State. Do you still remember when Agatu massacre happened? Agatu massacre, more than 2,000, more than 3 villages they crushed, they melt down about more than 3 villages. Dead bodies were everywhere. There was a great weeping in Bedouin. And many people would think, since that one happened, that it will not happen again. And guess the people that came out to claim, to tell the Benue people actually is our people that did it, but they did it because of anger. They were angry with the Benue people because they did not give them a place they wanted, they are asking for, where they can be railing their cow to avoid clashing with the farmers. MAZI NNAMDI KANU asks a very serious question then. How can a man without machete and gun, that is not within any assault rifle, how can he clash with a man that is with AK-47, that is with RIPG, that is with a rocket launcher, that is with any assault rifle you can never think of in this wide world? How can these two people clash? Nigeria could not answer this question. The only thing they hashed with those that call themselves elite is to plan a way to displatform MAZI NNAMDI KANU and buy over his those that he think that they are working with him. That today, without the work that MAZI Simon Ekpa is doing, nobody will be talking about MAZI NNAMDI KANU anymore. Believe me. MAZI NNAMDI KANU's name would have been a curse, like the way Biafra name was when we started earlier. Because in the early days of Biafra agitation, after Owazruke messed himself up, Biafra literally was like a curse. That if you say you are a Biafran, our name, our identity, our true identity that wants to be robbed off from us. If you say you are somebody like that, you're on your own. But because MAZI NNAMDI KANU did not give up, because Simon Ekpa did not neglect the call, the clarion call, and the call of the spirit that was meant to him, that this is your tax. You are like a Joshua that will help MAZI NNAMDI KANU to take these people to the promised land. If not that this man pick up the mantle like Elijah, and when you find a kuzi today, MAZI NNAMDI KANU name would have been a curse. That if you mention MAZI NNAMDI KANU name anywhere, because the Nigerian terrorist state will not want you to mention that name, because by mentioning of that name is resurrecting the message that MAZI NNAMDI KANU come with. If you don't know it, know it from today. Every name has a spiritual meaning and has an echo that it gives in the spiritual realm. For those that understand the things of spirit, names are not just an ordinary means of identity. No, names has an echo in the spiritual realm. That's something your name does whenever it's being mentioned. There are people you cannot mention their name in any deity. There are people you cannot mention their name in any deity. But why we are still talking about MAZI NNAMDI KANU today is because of the emergence of Simon Ekpa and the presence of Simon Ekpa Njoko. But every other person, we are just concerned. Oh, MAZI, let's see. Now that MAZI NNAMDI KANU has been captured, some of the people that we are even following MAZI NNAMDI KANU at the time, shouting, holy, 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 NNAMDI KANU is another savior, was among those that said when MAZI NNAMDI KANU was captured, let's see how he will come out from DSS dungeon and come and talk rubbish. If there's anything he wants to do, let him come out from that place now and do it. Dear friends, The only remedy that we have and the only saving grace that saved us today is because MAZI Simon Ekpa did not abandon MAZI NNAMDI KANU. Imagine, I will play this video. I just want to lay a background because we are going to be spending time here. In as much as our Prime Minister will be coming up any moment by 7 o'clock this evening, he will be going to one of the fundraisings. So by 7 o'clock, he'll be coming up. But for now that we are here, I want you to understand why every morning you should wake up and you say, thank you, Elohim, for MAZI Simon Ekpa. The reason why you will wake up every night and say, God, protect MAZI Simon Ekpa for us. Without MAZI Simon Ekpa, do you know that plan? Kelvin 22. I salute you from here. Do you know the plan? All those plans that Fulani has, they would have bring all of them to this land of Biafra 100% nothing. Believe me. The people you called your elite would have handed you over to them. And you will look and you will cry and weep. And nobody will come to your rescue. I don't know if I'm still being heard. Emenike and Sonny, please can you confirm for me that I'm still being heard? I don't know what the network is doing. Please can you confirm for me that I'm still coming out? Somebody please send me a message that I'm coming out. Kelvin 24, Emenike or Sonny, if you're out there and you're hearing me, if you can hear me, please confirm for me that I'm coming out. If you can hear me, please. I want you to confirm for me. Emenike, are you there? Sonny, are you there? Please confirm for me that I'm coming out. I don't know. I don't just know what is happening, but I think. Okay, let's continue. And let me wait for comment. So what am I saying? At the time, everybody was interested in, oh, Nigeria is coming to be good again. Oh, it's just because of Buhari. Buhari was a wicked soul. Buhari was a bad person. Once Buhari go out and another person coming, that the whole thing will normalize. Blah, 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 blah. Nothing, not knowing that nothing is ever going to normalize. Rather, you go from worst to worst and from worst to worst. Because one thing that the spirit of one Nigeria have succeeded in establishing in Nigeria is that once a bad thing happened, that bad thing will never change. Rather, it will be rebranded. Let me repeat myself. The spirit of one Nigeria have succeeded in establishing one thing in the life of those that are called one Nigerian people. When an evil is happening in the system, instead that evil will stop or something will come out to curtail that evil will be rebranded. Before you know it, it will be a situation that is reoccurring on daily basis. It will become the order of the day. It will become a normal thing. Nobody will any longer frown at that thing that is bad. What the people will now be doing is to compare and contrast. Not knowing that the comparing and the contrasting that they are doing is still to their own detriment. The comparing and contrasting that you're doing is still to your own detriment. not to the detriment of those that are local government chairmen, not to the detriment of those that are governors, not to the detriment of those that are senators, not to the, it's not that you are selling fuel, that you're buying fuel for 5,000, 10,000 today, that you can no longer buy a cup of gari. It doesn't move them. If you like, say 1 cup of gari, 1 million, they will eat it comfortably. In fact, they will have some to throw around. They will still be going to club and pop champagne. They will still be doing dorime in one place or the other. It doesn't move them because your future is already in their pocket. What you should be tomorrow is already in their pocket. By the time they will finish it, they will die and go, and their children will continue from where they stopped. That is why they can never get moved. Whenever you are saying anything, it's none of their business. Believe you me. And that is just the way it is. And I pray that you understand it. So let's go back to our leader. But I just want to make it very clear that these things that you're listening to now, these prophecies, thank you, Emenike. You said you can hear me. These things that you're listening to and these things that I'm saying now, that is the only crime that the Nigerian terrorist state and Britain said that MAZI NNAMDI KANU committed. Why must he waken the subconsciousness of those that they have made to be a moron? Why must he waken the subconsciousness of a black man to know that he can stand up for himself and say enough is enough? That today you can stand up and say this thing that you're doing is not good, that you can challenge the status quo, which is a common thing that should be common in a democratic system. I was watching just a few minutes ago, I was watching Donald Trump's debate, one of his rallies. A lot of people were there asking him questions. And Donald J. Trump was making utterances and telling the masses the things that he have at hand to do. And I didn't see Donald Trump. I was just listening attentively to know when Donald Trump will say, I'm going to give you a borehole. I will make sure that the road that leads from one state or the other is constructed. Or I will make sure that all the federal roads are walkable. I will make water supply or steady power supply. Donald J. Trump did not mention any of those because these are just the smallest thing that everybody need to do to have a progressive nation. But Donald J. Trump was telling them how many industries and factories that they are about to build to give the people of the United States, both those that they call blacks and those that they identify as white, to give them a job, that they will have the right to make a choice of the type, they will have a choice of job that they would do. But here in Nigeria, in the Zoological Republic, you have not even seen one, let alone you having a choice. Biafra FE. Biafra FE teach. Ndewo, Ndewo, you're welcome. You have not even had one single job, let alone you having a choice. What choice do you have? You don't have a choice. You don't have a single choice. No choice at all. The only choice you have is the one that they made for you. Outside the choice that they made for you, you don't have any other choice than to leave Ifechifota. Anything tomorrow bring. That is the spirit of one Nigeria. If you are living your life like that, the spirit of one Nigeria is seriously working in you. If you are still fighting against the Biafrans, it's only the evil spirit of the one Nigeria will compel you or propel you to fight the good people, to fight something that is coming to liberate you, to fight your own future, because Biafra is actually the future. Let's listen to our leader.
Not those killing, raping, pillaging, and sacking towns and villages. Not at all. Not those that have renamed some villages in Benue State into Fulani names. No, they're not terrorists. It is ESN. Why?
Those people that are sacking villages today, you know, that's a day. That's one drama that happened on the media. A man was asked from the Middle Belt, what is actually going on in the Middle Belt? And this man opened his mouth and said, Fulani is literally sacking villages and they are renaming the name of those villages that they have conquered. And the journalist was terrified at that statement and began to say, those are your words. Do you have any proof to those claims? And this man was telling you, what I'm saying is not claim. I'm not claiming it. I'm telling you what is happening in my village. And that interview, they did not finish it. They cut it. But because it's live, they couldn't bring it down. If not, they will signal them. Had they been pre-recorded the interview, they will signal them, they will censor it, and it will not come out. But this young man said, what I'm telling you is not what is happening in Kafanchan. What I'm telling you is what is happening in my village. So how can you tell me that that those are my words? Ifediche, you're welcome. The man tried everything to convince the journalists that they need help. But not knowing that he's sending his request to a caged man. It's just like you are in a pit. And you're stretching hand to somebody that is in the middle of sea, that is already drowning, a drowning man, a drowning woman. That is the person you're stretching your hand from a pit to come and save you. He will first of all save himself now, because he's already drowning. And such person cannot save you. That is how that journalist is. He's a drowning man. So you stretching a hand of help to him, you are just wasting your time, and you will die in your stupidity. You did not stretch your hand to the Biafrans that even sent a hand of fellowship to you people when Norton was still a governor, that you have the power to do whatever you want to do and secure your land. You misused that opportunity. You allowed Ghana to be killed. You allowed Obadiah Malafia to be killed. All those men, Obadiah would have been like MAZI NNAMDI or Simon Ekpa, either speaking from exile, because this is the only thing that they would have done at that time. Speaking from exile, motivating Ghana that is on ground, that will recruit the men, that will cage, that will clamp on the excesses of the terrorists in Benue State. They ignored all of this, where they were thinking that they want to be in the good book of the Fulanis, not knowing that nobody is in the good book of the Fulanis. Fulanis only know themselves. And there's something I will also point out to you is here, our leader said it. The broadcast I made yesterday or day before yesterday, when I was telling you about the secret or the real meaning of Sambisa Forest, what Sambisa Forest stands for, you will see our leader mentioned about it, the plan of the caliphate, on this broadcast that you are listening to today. Everything that is happening today, or whatever that you see as a surprise today, MAZI NNAMDI have talked about it long time ago. Simon Ekpa have rephrased on this long time ago. He revealed some of this long time ago. They are not new to us. To the Biafrans, they are not new. It might be a surprising thing to some other people that have been depending on what Nigeria, but to us that are Biafrans, it's not. Because we know what is chasing us. Our people are literally running away from home, looking for greener pasture where greener pasture is not. And other people are settling, trying, working very hard to settle in our land. If not for Elohim. Just like they are settling today, settling their people from Sahel. The other day I saw in the news that Nigeria welcomed there, I think over 2,000 plus. They say that they are asylum seekers. Neno Nigeria ne rijibu afo. Then Nigeria agu ne bunde befa. Look at Nigeria that have not saved themselves, that have not feed themselves, that their citizens cannot eat 2 square meal a day, is receiving asylum seekers. Those are ways to deceive the gullible, but not us. They cannot use those words to deceive us. These are Fulanis from Sahel. They are settling them in the land they have conquered. They'll tell you these are asylum seekers, and according to the international laws, they don't need to turn their back on them. These are lies. There are no asylum seekers anywhere. If there are asylum seekers, I want to ask you, why did Nigerian terrorist government captured the asylum seekers from Amazonia that ran for safety into Nigeria, and they captured all of them and sent them back to Cameroon? Ask yourself why. If these ones that came in, that are all Northerners, there's no any other tribe in those people, you ask yourself, these asylum seekers, what is chasing them? Where are they coming from? What is after them? From which country did they come? Nobody is asking any of these questions. The only thing is that they have used the media to prepare your mind so that you will not go further to ask questions. They've already told you that it's asylum seekers. What happened to the asylum seekers that came from Amazonia, that ran to Nigeria, that they kidnapped and sent back to Cameroon? Because those are the birds of the same feathers that flock together. Let's listen to our leader.
Ask yourself that simple question. Because Eastern Security Network is on record as being the only people to drive away Miyetti Allah from any state in the entire Nigeria. We drove Miyetti Allah away from.
Do you remember the time you used to hear that the Fulani clash with our farmers in our different villages? Do you still remember those days? Do you still remember when our women and our daughters are being raped in their numbers in the farm? Do you still remember those days? Do you remember the time a Ada Biafra was butchered in 4 parts in former Anambra State and placed in different parts in a junction by Fulanis? Do you still recall those rituals that was done against the Biafrans? But today, it is no longer happening. It's no longer obtainable because the Biafra Liberation Forces are at work. Do you remember when men went to Benue Forest and captured the leader of the Fulani jihadis movement and sent him to Elohim? Do you still remember that day? This thing triggered the terrorist group. If onye karịrị mmadụ, onye karịrị mmadụ karịchie. Ịchọ ndị Igbo okwu, Biafrans okwu, ha etie gị ife. If you look for the trouble of the Biafrans, we will beat you. If we, Biafrans, decide to do what we have never done before, that is looking for other people's trouble. But if we choose to look for your trouble, we will also beat you at the same time. And there's nothing you will do about it. But these people looked at the Biafrans and look at the land of Biafra, and they are not seeing a dream that is not realizable. A dream they said that it was impregnated to them by their forefathers Usman and Fodio, that the land of Biafra has been given to them by Allah. Mano Chineke yakpo hoku. Chineke yakpo hoku. Let's listen to our leader.
State, after 4 years of war, 4 good years of war, they ran away from Ebonyi State. That is why they have now gone to them, bring in their big guns, their big brothers. Then we're going to face them and we shall defeat them. Yet Yala was in Ebonyi State as a fully fledged, functioning, Fulani-sponsored terror group. Even your so-called presidency said in the public that they are legitimate stakeholders in the government. In other words, what is happening in Nigeria today is an...
And not only in Ebonyi. When Buhari made that statement that these terrorists that came from Sahel are stakeholders in the government, Obiano confirmed it. Obiano, former Anambra State, the former governor of Anambra State, Obiano, said that Mieti Allah is in his government. You, as a Biafran, will now ask yourself, if Mieti Allah is in the government of Anambra, what is he doing there? Is Anambra State now a northern state? And the question you will now ask yourself, how many Biafrans are in the state of the north? Can Erofai come out on the television station or any radio house, media house, and say, oh, Biafrans are in the government house, that they are the stakeholders in the government house? Such thing is not obtainable, not in this life. But Mieti Allah. And you know why Elohim made Obiano to say this? Because of this prophecy and these words of MAZI NNAMDI KANU. Because of this thing that MAZI NNAMDI KANU was lamenting about. Because Biafrans at the time said, it's not possible now. MAZI NNAMDI KANU, how can it be that Mieti Allah is in the government in Biafra land? But Obiano came out to confirm it that even in Anambra, the home of Odumegwu Ojukwu, that Mieti Allah is in the government. How much more can there not be in the government of former Abia State? How much more will they not domicile, that will they not dominate the government of the former Limo State? How much can they not dominate the government of the former Ebonyi State? How much can they not even dominate the government of the former Enugu State if they are domiciled in the government of Anambra? But everybody, because of the spirit of one Nigeria that cages people not to speak, not to arise to the occasion, not to rise against what have come to kill you, everybody was just those moping, waiting for a miracle to happen, but not the one that they will bring. The best miracle that will happen to you is the change that Elohim helped you to cause by yourself. The change you made by yourself. That is the best miracle that will happen to you. But do you know that one that just happened, you don't know how it happened? Just the way you don't know how it happened, that is the way it will also go. You will not know how it goes. Because you don't pay any price for it. You do not pay any price. But the one you paid price for, if you remember how you labored, if a woman remembered what he labored in the labor room, if he remembered the pain of 9 months, if he remembered that pain of just few minutes of putting to bed, That is why today you say that the women, they have more bond with their children more than the men. It's because they used to remember those pains. And they will say, let me guide this jealously. I know the price I paid. But to you that did not pay any price, to you that don't know the price of freedom, when you're asked to fight for it, because you don't know what it takes, you will just overlook it and say, no, 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 no. I cannot do this. I cannot do this. Because you don't know what it takes. But if you know what it takes, you will do it. You will do it without anybody begging you to do it. You will do it without anybody. You will do it without anybody. You will do it. Because you know what you are fighting for. This is the only thing that distinguishes MAZI NNAMDI KANU from every other ordinary Nigeria. And this is the only thing that distinguishes the Biafrans from every other ordinary Nigeria. We know what we are up against. We know what we are up against. But to some persons, they don't know what they are up against. To the middle belt, when MAZI NNAMDI KANU was calling on them, they don't know what they are up against. That is why they thought that is a joke. That is one of those things that after a while, it will just fizzle out. It's just something that have come to stay for a season. But they never knew that the conquering of the land by the jihadists is not for a season. This is something that have been hashed for so many years. Can you recall when Abacha was a president? Do you know how many years today? Do you know how many years it is that Babangida is no longer in the office? But yet, that thing that they planned those years, that is their dream, that this is what they want to achieve, they have not gone back on them, Oga. They are still working seriously about it. That is one thing about these people. They don't succumb to the development of things. They don't succumb to things that the things have changed. No, they are not like some other people. Oh, you say, oh, things have changed. This is the modern day. Are you trying to tell me that in this 21st century that people will be thinking this backward? That is your own mentality. To these people, they don't know what you mean by 21st century. Their goal is their goal, and that goal is to conquer you and take your land. It's only you that is still in the 21st century. They themselves, they are still in the 1900s. When people migrate from one place or the other, it's only your mentality have brought you to you 21st century. They themselves, their mentality is still stuck in those days that you ride on horses and donkeys. That is where they still are. That's why you can never align yourself with them. You can never coexist. Because these men are so backward. That hostility in them can never go away. You are an infidel, you are an infidel. And nothing can ever leverage you from that infidelity. Even if you like convert to Islam, you will be a slave Islam. That they will also use whenever they want, however they want. They can trash you whenever they want. The original people are those jihadists, those ones you find today in Sambisa forest, where they are building their empire. That's something I will tell us maybe tomorrow in the evening. Because there been a question that is rising from every other ethnic nationalities. You will ask, where is the land of the Fulani? But they are the ones leading you. You will say Fulani is not an indigenous tribe in Nigeria, but they have been the one dominating you. and they have chosen to build their own indigenous land in Sambisa forest. If you don't know it today. Fulani is building their indigenous land in Sambisa forest. But to you, is where terrorists have taken over. Sorry for you. Let's listen to our leader. It's only the Biafrans. That is why everybody is fighting the Biafrans. Because Elohim have sent us to liberate the gullible ones. Those that think that they are
intel, and I'm going to give it to you this evening as you proceed. They are trying to get you to tag ESN a terrorist group. Why? Because we defeated Mieti Yala in the east. We rendered them useless. It was because of the work that Eastern Security did in the past, is doing now, and will continue to do. That is the reason why the...
This is when, before Chicken Edosem the Manchina Sanworu sold the Eastern Security Network to Nigerian state. These men and women were doing a very tremendous job. Before China Sanworu and Chike Edosem sold the Eastern Security Network to the Nigerian state, when they sell MAZI NNAMDI KANU through Ifanyuba and other political elite, those that call themselves political elite of the Nigerian state, to Nigeria. And what did they do? They even commanded our men that they should leave the bush. That they should leave the bush for the Fulanis to come and take it. That if anybody is found in that bush, that person automatically is a criminal and a terrorist. Do you know the people that are saying this? Those people that those people that you think that they will pick up the mantle and support whatever that Simon Eba is doing today and support every other person that is shouting about Biafra. Those are the people that called the security men that are safeguarding our land, that was able to chase away the terrorist headers in our land and their cows. That made it impossible that these people can no longer commit their heinous crime again in our land. These people sold them, thinking that as they have sold them to the governors, that is when they lost this, what they call it, what's that useless security formation that they created? That was, they said is Ebubago. I think Ebubago, right? Ebubago. They formed Ebubago. And then they were now calling on those security men, those Eastern security men, that some of them should come and be the head of Ebubago security. Know that, which our brother Ikonso was also pestized. They pestered Ikonso, called him, promised him heaven and earth. What is his name? The governor, the Supreme Court governor of Imo State. That's nothing he did not do. That's nothing he did not do. Just to make sure that he bought Ikonso. But Ikonso said, your silver, your gold, your diamond, whatever it is that you have, you can go to hell with them and you will burn there. Biafra is the only thing that I want. And Biafrans is the only people I will serve. If there's any other thing that you want to do, I'm not in a party to it. And I didn't abandon my He also told them, I didn't abandon my good life that I'm enjoying outside the country to come again and turn around and start serving the Fulani indirectly. It is not possible. I abandoned everything and traveled back home because a call has been made. My fatherland is calling on me to come and defend it. And that is why I'm here. Likewise, many other volunteers. Until MAZI Simon Ekpa came in and bring up the liberation forces, bring up the liberation army, the Black Marine, the defense forces of Biafra land that we have today. That the Janjaweed are now bowing to them on daily basis. Let's listen to our leader.
Then governors came together in Asaba only last week to announce a ban on open grazing, to try for the very first time in their lives to confront head-on this Fulani Islamic hegemony as a result of the bravery and sacrifice of Eastern Security Network men and women.
Do you remember the time that these governors gathered themselves in Asaba to do this? And do you hear the response of the Fulanis to the Mietiala? Do you hear the response that the Mietiala gave to them that period? Mietiala told them that nobody born of a woman has what it takes, the balls, to stop them from any state that they want to enter. Because that state, so long as it's Nigeria, that is where I picked my point. That so long as your state is still under the rule, so long as the spirit of one Nigeria is still working very much in you, in your own state is still under Nigeria, you have no legal right to stop the Janjaweed from coming into your state. No legal right whatsoever. And on this right they stood on because they all know what they are doing. They know that once you declare Biafra, that Biafra is a different entity. For you to come in, you have to explain why you are coming. What are you bringing in? What are your purposes of coming? Are you coming in for Biafra, for business? Are you coming in for any other work activities? Or do you have interest to live in Biafra land? And what are your qualifications? What can you do? What job do you want to engage yourself in? They know that it can never be possible that Fulani can be trooping in and out of Biafra land. But the only thing that will make it possible that their army, their terrorist army, their terrorists in the army uniform, and the terrorists in police uniform, terrorists in navy, custom, and all that can be trooping and in and out, blowing sarin all over the place, is with the coronation of one Nigeria. Remove the embargo of one Nigeria, it is a no-no. And that is the path the Biafrans have chosen to go to. Make sure that the terrorists in any form nor shape leaves our land. Let's listen to our leader.
Without ESN, by now all of you would have been, it would have been over for all of you. By now, without this IPOB, all of you would have been gone. You see, I told you before that there is a method to our madness. We proceed very, very gingerly and cautiously, trying to take our people with us every step of the way, but above all, their understanding of the very perilous times that we're living in. These are the things you must calm down to educate yourself, because sometimes our people are always in a hurry. They are always in a hurry in the process.
The time that our leader was saying this to our people and saying this to the caliphate, that our madness, that there's a level, there's levels in madness, that the time our own madness will stop, hey, that we are never going to stop. They thought that that madness will be that we will continue in the media lamenting and lamenting, unstop lamentation, ever living lamentation. They thought that that is what we will continue to do on the media. They thought we will continue to run to the White House in the United States, to Beverly Hills, that will continue to run to Germany, that will continue to run to all these places to lament to them, show them photo and video, show them evidences of what we are undergoing in Nigeria. They thought that that is the madness that MAZI NNAMDI is talking about. Oh God. These people don't know what is coming.
They fail to factor in every variable that will enable them, or that should enable them, to understand the tactics of the enemy. Most of you don't understand the way the Fulanis operate, but we do. That is why we have been able to predict every of their move. This very person is telling us that anybody saying that ESN is a terrorist group wants you to become weak, wants you to become the oppressed inside Nigeria.
And that is the only thing they want from us. For you to always be the victim. Just like is happening in Benue State today. Have you ever heard that any community that the Fulanis are living in the north are invaded? Never. Have you ever heard that Sambisa Forest is invaded? That place is a sacred place. Nobody can invade Sambisa Forest. That is why anytime you talk about military oppression in the north, somebody like Sheikh Gumi will kick against it. Somebody like the governor of Benue State, Kaduna State will kick against it. Nazine Rufai, when he was the governor there. Somebody like Shetima, your present day vice president, will kick against it and tell you to the open, we don't need military might in anywhere in the northern states. That they know how to sort themselves out. But it's only you that don't know how to sort yourself out. It's only you that will need army. It's only you as supposed or them will need army to come and kill your people. It's only you as a governor of Ebonyi State, we need army to come and kill your people. It's only you as the governor of Anambra, we need the army to kill your own people. But in the north, they don't need any kinetic approach to their own people. They need non-kinetic approach. It's only you that need a kinetic approach to your own people to slaughter them. In other words, in the way that you're trying to prove to the caliphate that you are a loyal servant to them, that you can do their bidding. They only want you to be the victim. They don't want you to be in the equal rank and measure with them. They don't want it to be a two fight. You know, there's a way to treat a two fighters, and the way to treat when you come and as a victim in a fight. These two things might be the same thing, but they are not. They might look alike, but they are not. When you see two fighters, that means these people, they have the same ability in their muscles and their moves. This person wound this person, and this person is also wounding him. Nobody is crying. Both of them know that they have the same strength, that they can defend themselves. But when you come to a place that somebody is being oppressed, One person must be muscular more than the other person, or have weapons more than the other person, or have more advantage more than the other person. And the caliphate wants you to be more in advantage, to have more advantage more than you do. That is why during the death Buhari, they will tell you that they want everybody in the old eastern region to surrender their pumping action and any other weapon that is harmful. You will ask, we asked, for what reason? Remember that when this thing is happening is when the bombing and the terrorism of the North is on the rampage, is on the high gear. They didn't call on the North. Sorry. They did not call on the Northerners. Sorry. I was having a Qatar is disturbing me, so sorry about that. They did not call on the Northerners and say, all of you, everybody, we don't want to see anybody, whether you are herdsmen or whether you are anything, we don't want to see anybody wielding any assault rifle of any sort. That was the time that what did they call them? The headers. We are seeing all over the place with AK-47. That is the time the dead Buhari was telling the people of the old eastern region that all of them should go and submit, even if whether that pumping action is registered or not registered. Even up to this moment, go and make your inquiries. Call home. Call the old eastern region. Call your people. Ask them, can you still register AK-47 in any place in Nigeria? They will tell you no. Nobody will give you license. Even if you have license before, that license is invalid. You get the point now. Do you understand it now? They want you to be the victim. They want you to be the victim. They don't want you to be in any measure with them, because Fulani don't want confrontation. They are no warriors, but our people are. Biafrans are. So they don't want any community they will go to and they will meet any resistance. They love it the way they will go to Middle Belt and they will slaughter them, and they will only go to the media. The next morning you will see soldiers everywhere. That's a day that the people of the Middle Belt rise up to kill cows. They did not kill anybody. Only cows that they killed that are on rampage, destroying their crops. And the army sweep into actions. The police sweep into action. That they will fish out those people that killed the cow. But this is the same community that thousands have been killed. Even dead bodies, people are still mourning their dead bodies of the same result, of the same, they brought about killing of the cow. Human being was killed. Police and the army did not sweep into action to fish out those Fulani herdsmen that did that thing. But they sweep into action to fish out the Middle Belt youths that dares to kill a cow of the Fulani. Do you understand what the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra is saying at the time? Is it clear to you now? Do you understand what MAZI Simon Ekpa is doing now? Is it clear to you now why the Biafra Republic government in exile is the way forward? And the declaration that is coming by December time is the only way to go if really you want to live. There's a saying that said, the way to peace is war. If you refuse and say, oh, I need peace, I don't need disturbance, you will die. That trouble you are running for will be waking you up on daily basis. But anytime you rise up and say, okay, trouble anywhere you are, come. Trouble will start running away from you because you are prepared and ready for any kind of trouble that will come. You are equal to the tax. But the only thing they want from you is to be the victim. Be the victim, we are okay. Those days that they come and tell us we're on top of the situation, everybody can go their normal business. But our brothers and sisters are being laid to rest. Our brothers and sisters are the ones being laid to grave. Those people that committed the heinous crime are preparing to move to another community, so that by the time they will come back to that community, our people say no. Enough of us being the lamb of sacrifice to Nigeria to keep it one. Enough to that nonsense of being a political correct, of trying to be the peacekeeping people. Oh, we don't want any trouble. We don't want them. Do you see what these people are doing to us now? That is the only thing we lament on the media always. 2012, 2013, 2014 till 2021. We lament and lament and lament and get tired of lamentation. And those lamentations yielded, they need no fruit until we begin to engage squarely those that have said, that have sworn an oath that they will never stay in one place unless they see us being completely eradicated from the surface of the earth. Immediately we rise up to say enough is enough. The narrative changed by fire, by force. Do you remember that the time that MAZI Simon Ekpa created the government in exile, that the Nigerian government, their media refused to call it for what it is? They always call it Igbo nation. But today they called MAZI Simon Ekpa the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile. They are compelled to do it. It's our consistency that brought those results. Today, in their media houses, in channel television, their highest television station in Nigeria, they discuss Biafra and call it for what it is. That is Biafra War. 1967, 1970, people died. I'll bring for you the conclusion of a Fulani man, but Takia doesn't work with us. That is one thing they have found out. Takia don't work with us. Whenever Fulani terrorist is coming to you in peace, they have prepared the war to wage against you, but they only want to make you weak. To say, okay, these people have realized actually that they made mistake. That's a video I will bring tomorrow in the evening when I come back from work. Okay, tomorrow is at home. Tomorrow is sit at home. In the evening, Biafrans will be sitting at home tomorrow to remember our leader MAZI NNAMDI KANU and to make the people know that the Biafrans are ready and prepared to go home. So tomorrow, observe your sit at home. Don't say, no, uru afia kachankunisi. What we are fighting for has a price to pay. We can't get freedom in a platter of gold. So tomorrow in the morning, I will be here, and in the evening, I will also be here. Let's listen to our leader.
What IPOB is doing is to defy oppression, is to confront evil face to face.
What we are doing today, is it not confrontation of evil? Is it not confronting the wickedness of Nigeria against the people? Is it not confronting the mayhem that is already prepared against the people? Is it not standing up to the challenges instead of hiding under our mother's wrapper like every other ethnic nationality is hiding under their mother's wrapper, thinking that one day they will wake up and Nigeria will become United States of America or Nigeria will become Finland. It's not possible. You need to fight for it. The Zoological Republic are not programmed to become anything positive. It is programmed to become something negative. And the negativity will never cease until they lower your head. But the Biafrans have said we cannot lower our head in shame. And we can never lower our head as a result of defeat. If we will, it will be as a result of paying a price of what we believe in. That is who Biafrans are. Without the message of MAZI NNAMDI KANU and the work of Simon Ekpa today, I said you will be running in your village. Some of us and other people that are living outside the country, they will be running from they will never go back to their village anymore. That's why some of you that are living in America, living in London, living in UK, living in Germany, living in France, living in all these places, and when they call you to come and make your donations, to do something about Biafra, you're not supporting, you're not sharing the message, you're not doing anything. You are literally idle in a free land, in a place that somebody has suffered for. You are not fighting to liberate your own land so that whenever you go outside the country, you live as a free man. You go back home, you live as a free man. You did not understand that you will have more value. Your dignity will be more valuable if you have your own free land. If the people that is accommodating you today, the country of your board, notice that you are a free man, that your country where you are coming from is not a slave country, they will value you more. You understand what I'm saying? You that is listening from any other part of the world. You know what I'm saying? That insult you used to get when you get to immigration, it will stop. That job segregation, when the job opportunities come out, it will stop. Have you gone to seek for a job with an Indian before? If Indians were not all selected, nobody will give you a job. As somebody coming from this part of the world or from any part of Africa. Do you get the point now? They will not give you. They will first of all give those people and their own pay. Have you been opportune to know how much an Indian is being paid in any way that is working? Have you had any opportunity to know what a Chinese man is being paid in the United States? Have you had any opportunity to know what other countries are being paid, not in their homeland, and how they are being respected? They are not being harassed like the way you are being harassed. Why you are being harassed is that they look at you, they say, this one that cannot stand up for himself and do something, look at him. He's coming from a land that we ourselves, where he's coming, we don't even have all the minerals that they have. We are not as rich as they are. Yet they leave, abandon everything. Instead of them standing up to fight for it, they abandon everything and come here to come and struggle with the little we are managing with our family. That is why sometimes they will rise and be cruel. Their cruelty will be something that you cannot even explain. You'll be asking yourself, I didn't do him anything. I didn't do anything to him. He just hate me for no purpose. He hate your stupidity. He did not hate you. She did not hate you. He hate your stupidity. He is doing that to know if the human in you will rise to the occasion and say enough is enough. I cannot be here and be humiliated when I have a land that is flowing with milk and honey. He wants you to go home and fight for your land. He wants you to be there and fight for your land and liberate it, because you can also fight from exile and liberate your people. Every other nation has done it and it was successful. You too, you can do it. Join Simon Ekpa. Support whatever he's doing. Bring in money and support. Support by sharing the programs that are being done by the Biafrans. Support by sharing the message of Master Simon Ekpa and everything that he's doing. You have diverse ways to support. But you that is just staying idle, moping, you're only waiting for the day. Let them keep on fighting now. If they get the Biafra too, if they didn't get it too, You don't have direction. You're not expecting anything. Sorry for you.
Very dearly for it, and we're still paying for it. But the sacrifices we are making is to ensure that the generations to come after us cannot endure this level of oppression, this level of humiliation.
Do you get the point now? Because many people see us and they tag us stupid. Oh, look at you. You are in the land where everything is at ease for you. You can go out to the beach and enjoy yourself. You are not receiving the torture in Nigeria. The police is not after you. This one is not after you. You are not afraid of Fulani kidnapping you. You are not afraid of being kidnapped by anything. So why are you disturbing people with this your Biafra nonsense? Why can't you enjoy yourself and stay where you are? Every one of us and our Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, and our leader MAZI NNAMDI KANU and the Biafra Liberation Forces, and every other person in this movement abandoned all these comforts and the money that should be used for other things, stock it in this movement to give our people, our generation unborn, our children now, that they will not face the same cruelty that we suffered. That they will not face the same injustice that we suffered. That is why we are busy planting these trees, knowing fully well that many of us might not stay under them to enjoy the trees. Many of us might be under that tree and tell the story of how it all started and how we get to where we are at the time. But we did not care. We plant. But the spirit of one Nigeria is, before you do anything that will benefit your neighbor, you sit down and say, what is this thing going to benefit me? Is he even going to know that I'm the one that made this thing to happen? Is he even going to come and greet me that I'm the one that made his son or daughter to get a job? Is he going to greet me that I'm the one that made his daughter or son to pass WAEC or JAMB? Is he going to greet me that I'm the one that made his son or daughter to be a medical doctor today? Those are the mentality of the spirit of one Nigeria. That's why I am is all over the place. Everybody wants to be worshipped. That's why the government today is another demigod. Every institution that has opportunity to employ people, those institutions are demigods. They decide the future of people. This tyranny is what we are fighting to liberate our people from, to stop the move of the terrorists against our people. That our children will no longer be studying in the school and they will not be serious because the school is calm. That is the new slogan. Call anybody in the Zoological Republic. School is not a guarantee that you will come out and you get a job. If you want, I will call for you, my friends, graduates with good results, not the one that today you sorted yourself out of the university. No. That came out with flying colors, with first class, but for 10 years, 20 years, no job. Some of them are self-employed today. That is how they were able to feed themselves. They come to feed themselves, and some of them are even regretting, why did they waste all this time? Do you know why? Because Fulani wants it to be so. For you to get frustrated in doing things the way it should go, in doing things accordingly, following a due process, because they know that this is the value system that our forefathers kept that made us who we are today. Do you know there's a teaching I will bring to us one day? Our people no longer serve. But that's a story for another day. There's a lot of topics, there's a lot of things to analyze. It's just time frame, and all this network nonsense. Let's listen to our leader. In a short while, we'll stop it and I will play for you the update on our leader's health. The man that did all these things, a man that saw all these things and was calling on the attention of the people day in, day out. A man that sacrificed a lot of things, that sacrificed his own happiness for you that is listening to me today. You might say you're not a Nigerian. But MAZI NNAMDI KANU did not only work for the Biafrans, he worked for Africa. He was the one that was waking the subconsciousness of Africans for them to know now Bago Horsafia that they have been sold. The Berlin Conference was not just a mere meeting. The Berlin Conference was the day the decision, the future, the fate of Africa was made. Berlin Conference was not just a mere meeting. That's the story for another day. Let's listen to our leader.
Now listen to me very carefully. What the Fulanis are doing, according to this writer, Debayo Raphael, by attempting to tag ESN a terrorist group, is to tell every Nigerian that you can never be free. That freedom means being targeted and killed by the Nigerian state.
Do you get the point now? That's a message I got today. That's a message, that's an update I got today. That all those that protest, God, if you can still remember the time I come here, I made the broadcast, and I was telling you about a man that was demonstrating how they are going to make sure that this protest succeed, how they are going to make sure that all those people that have served in Nigeria for long, they will drop them, how they're going to make sure and do this one and do that. Most of those protesters that happened, that charade that they did, that useless, shameful act that they come out to dance, because the spirit of one Nigeria is whole. That is why you come out in a protest and you are singing song and you are dancing and shaking your nyash. You come out and say that you are pained, that what you're going through is something that is awful. That's so that human beings supposed not to suffer. And you come out when you say that you're that this thing enough is enough. People are waiting to see your rage, only for you to come out in the social media. You're using it to make to create content. You're using your suffering to create content to those people that you said you want to demonstrate to them that you have taken it up to here, that enough is enough. You come out and you are dancing and entertaining them. And we are all laughing and say, look at these ones. You demonstrated that it cannot happen when fuel is being sold at the rate of 300 and something naira, 400 naira. Immediately they see that you're not serious. They increase it to 1,300. They tripled it. And you know what? The spirit of one Nigeria will tell you to adjust. And they know you can do nothing. You cannot do anything. Those people that will come out from that came out for that protest, some of them are being charged now for treason. Some of them, many of them, are being charged for treason. Do you know what the Nigerian terrorist state is trying to achieve? They have been doing it. They did it to the Biafrans, to IPOB members. The IPOB members that are languishing today in different prisons in Nigeria, they cannot be numbered. Everybody treasonable felony. MAZI NNAMDI KANU, treasonable felony. This one, treasonable felony. Now you went all the way to Kenya to kidnap MAZI NNAMDI KANU. Now he's now in your custody. Prove to him, show to the world the treasonable felony that MAZI NNAMDI KANU has committed. For more than 4 years now, they've not been able to prove it. For more than 4 years now, they've not been able to prove MAZI NNAMDI a terrorist. In fact, as a matter of fact, the treasonable felony was trashed. The terrorist charges was trashed. That he called MAZI, that they called the Buhari, that Buhari died in Saudi Arabia and was buried in a shallow grave. That one did not even appear anywhere. Because if it appears, you have to prove it that actually what you're saying is truth, either by bringing the man you call the former president now, bringing him to the court and proving to the people that actually this is a Buhari. But because they cannot prove it, they decided to pour sound on that particular one. They didn't even mention it. All these things is to put fear, to instigate fear in your spirit. Once the spirit of a man is being captured, everything that man is doing in the physical, you are just wasting your time. Your spirit is already caged. That is what they have succeeded in doing in the life of those that still believe in one Nigeria. Once you believe in this Nigeria, that thing that they did will begin to work in you immediately. You will be afraid to rise and say the truth. You'll be looking at the truth right before your eyes, but you will not say it. Because you don't know which one you will say now. You don't want to die. Nobody want to die. That is the language of the Nigerians. Nobody want to die now. Nobody want to die now. Nigeria, now your papa house. You know Nigeria is not your papa house. Why didn't you want to secure your own papa house? Why do you want a place that is not your papa house to spoil your own father's house? Although possible. Nya wuru nkịta m ụtawuru nke ka anyị je wuo okwu ya ka anyị je si onye a nyaze iwe ya dị ọkụ ya dajuo nọ ịmago ụmụazị ịmago na nkịta ife niile awa anụmanụ na ha amachaghị ife. Nya wuru onye ọzọ ka a na-arịọ si abịa na abịa yọọ m nwa m nya tiwuo nwa onye si nya bo ya apa si gbọrọ ya bịa be m ka sị ha. Why do you do this? Kambari ambani hunda. Maya wuna mwa ya bonwa mna kuwari ne besaronya wana ifuko ife mere nwa. Enwe mmadụ dondu yeme nwa mmadụ drifa. That is what Biafrans will never result to. The time we did and live such life has come and it has gone. You can never intimidate us. Neither can you ever clamp on our spirit. You cannot. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever.
He went on to say, but I reject that. We cannot be free. In other words, if you decide to cage the people, they must rise up one day to agitate. He went on to remind us very, very simply that on 30th of May 2016, about 1,000 women, men, and children were peacefully marching to commemorate the killing of roughly, he said 2 million, of course, it's not 2 million, it's 5 million Biafrans that were killed between 1967 and 1970 by the Nigerian state and their British allies. They were on the receiving end of a very terrible, inhumane terrorist blitzkrieg, that was what they called it, by the Nigerian security forces under the malefic orders of Buhari at that time when he was still alive. On that very day, a report by Amnesty, which all of you have, all forgotten, of course. A report by Amnesty International confirmed that no less than 150 peaceful Biafran commemorators were shot and killed. At least 70 of them injured as a result of attacks over 2 days by Nigerian army and police. All of you.
That is Aba High School. That is Aba High School. But do you still remember that day? Do you still remember that incident? Do you still remember Mpo massacre? Do you still remember that video that circulated in the internet where people were inside Aba High School, a place that was fenced? They were just with flag singing to Elohim. to remember our fallen heroes and those that were killed unjustly 1967, 1970, the spirit of those 5 million children that were starved to death. Since there's no day that the Nigerian terrorist state mapped out to remember those innocent souls that they killed. Biafrans, because you don't beat a child and tell him not to cry. Or you don't beat a child and tell that child how to cry. If somebody that is passing through pain will tell you where is paining him and how the pain, how excruciating the pain is. But Nigerians says, how dare us to remember the dead? How dare us to remember the death of over 5 million children they murdered in cold blood? How dare us to remember the pogrom, the genocide that they committed against the Biafrans 1967, 1970 in our land? And over 100 and something million, over 100 and something people were mowed down on that fateful day. That was the day that some of our people that are with bullet wounds that ran into gutter, some drainages, and they were hiding there. The soldiers meet them there and they poured them raw acid. What I'm telling you, we are not exaggerating. We are not here to give you a cock and bull story. We are not here to carry a propaganda. This is something that has evidences of this. We have the videos and we have the records. And these records have been tabled to so many offices in the international bodies, in the powers that be in this world, and they told us there's nothing they can do about this. Only us can do something about it. MAZI NNAMDI KANU said it in one of his broadcasting. That in the United States, that one of the men just called him by the side and said, my heart is bleeding. For the type of petitions that you're bringing here, the truth is that we don't have what it takes to help you. Start something, start doing something. That is the only way we will come in. If we continue to come here for more 100 years, nothing will happen. You will keep on dying. Start defending yourself. That is the only way forward. If you don't do it, we cannot do it for you. That is why your freedom is only you that can fight for it. If you are waiting for international communities, you can wait till eternity come, and that freedom will not come.
Well forgotten because you are black people. He went on to enumerate that this series of massacre of IPOB people were intended to put fear into us. They were intended to make us bow before the Fulani Caliphate, so that others may become amenable to the rule of the Janjaweed. But because IPOB stood strong despite all the things that we went through, that is the reason why people, especially from the south and to an extent from the north, from the middle belt, are now beginning to rise up to say that enough is enough due to all those sacrifices. My father.
When he's saying this is when the north and the middle belters that is telling you that have risen, that rose up then to say enough is enough, was in the place of Ma'alafia, Obadiah Ma'alafia, and the Ghana them. You know, Ghana was contracted. Ghana was contracted to be the one that will lead the massacre of his own people. He was contracted to go to Zamfara and be causing mayhem there, while another person will be sent to his own town. By the time he get the intel when the first killing happened in Agatu, Ghana said, so you will contract me to go in another village when you say that my village is covered and nothing will happen to it, while you will send another person to my village while I'm in another town causing mayhem there, and other people will be killing my own brothers and sisters. That this will not happen. I'm going back to my village. At least if not for nothing else, I will protect them. Ghana rejected the offer they made to him because he proposed 1 point something billion that he will use to do the job, to mobilize and settle some military generals. And the Nigerian terrorist state were pricing him at I think 300 million at the time. And the last offer they made to him was 500 million, and he rejected it and said it's too small. Not knowing that this is a coded language for him to move away from his people. And he will no longer have a legal ground when he started slaughtering other people, when his own people will be slaughtered. If he says anything, they will tell him, you are also doing the same, and we can arrest you for it. And Ghana rejected that offer, and that is what that lead to Ghana's death. Because already Ghana has known the underground plan of what is happening. But Otong was a foolish man. He thought that he knew, but he knew nothing. Fulani sent him a message and told him that all those things that you denied us, we are going to get them, and they have gotten them. Because Fulani told Otom to his face that the next person that will be coming to be a governor of Benue State, we will make sure that is not your loyalist. Is not the one that is loyal to their people, but one that is loyal to the Fulani. And that is what is happening today. But you are sleeping and snoring. Why MAZI NNAMDI KANU is languishing in a prison cell, in a dungeon of the DSS? Why MAZI Simon Ekpa is having a sleepless night to keep you safe? May Elohim have mercy on your souls. We're going to stop the voice of our leader here. Let me bring to you the update on MAZI NNAMDI KANU health. And this is where we're going to end the program of today. And as we'll be waiting for our Prime Minister to come up today by 7 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken, but I know it's by 7. So wait for him to come up by 7 and we'll join him. Listen to, this is one of the lawyers of MAZI NNAMDI KANU. The one you're looking at on the screen, not a Jofo, not a Jumako. This other one with the white beards. That's the man you'll be listening to his voice now. We'll be bringing the update of MAZI NNAMDI KANU's health as at the day before yesterday. Listen to him.
Is it because he's an Igbo? Is it because he's Nnamdi Kanu? It's only a living that will face trial. Look at the letter written to the DSSS. Get this letter. Get this letter. This letter is being written by Heartland Cardiovascular Consultants Limited. The Onye G. Achilu, the medical director, and is a fellow, American College of Cardiology, wrote this letter to DSSS. And in the letter, he said, based on the symptoms communicated to me, I strongly recommend that he be brought to my clinic so that a proper medical focus examination, including necessary tests, will be carried out to address his complaints.
All of us and many of us know what a cardiologist, their work. These are people that are specialize in heart. Anything that has to do with the heart, with the liver, with all these things. These are specialists in those parts. The man that is in charge of MAZI NNAMDI KANU's health, his doctor, the specialist. This cardiologist wrote a letter to the DSS dungeon that with the report that is getting from MAZI NNAMDI KANU, that he need an urgent response, treatment, that MAZI NNAMDI KANU need to be brought to his clinic for urgent treatment. But you know what? MAZI NNAMDI KANU happened not to be a man. What is his name? The one they said is the one they said is the good policeman. What? Abakiari. MAZI NNAMDI KANU happen not to be a Bakari. That the terrorists will go to the prison where he's residing and free every other person, and he choose to stay behind. Because you're talking to fools. You think you're talking to one Nigerians. And for that reason, a man that is in the watch list, that American security personnel has come to Nigeria for Nigeria to hand him over to them to come and face his criminal charges in the United States. His drug ordeals, he's a member of drug cartel in Africa. Nigeria concealed this man and refused to give Abakari to the United States security men. But MAZI NNAMDI KANU, that has never committed any crime, the only crime he committed is daring to say that he wants to free you from yourself, from your slavery. For daring to say that he wants to unshackle the chain that have been placed on your neck, on your shoulder, on your waist, on your leg, on your hands for so many years by the terrorists. For daring to do that, they went all the way to Kenya, breaking every international law to kidnap him. Today, MAZI NNAMDI KANU is languishing in DSS. Held against every law in the world. Refused medical treatment. Refused adequate care. Simple because he's a Biafran. But there's something this man said that I want you to hear.
To them, and based on this letter, the man said that the consultant said that he will not be going to DSS to see NNAMDI KANU. Dear Nigerians,
the cardiologist, the consultant, said he will not go to DSS to see MAZI NNAMDI KANU. Do you know why? Whenever they went there to treat MAZI NNAMDI KANU, they restricted them. They restricted them and conditioned them on what to do and what not to do. And that is not the way to work. Even somebody that is in a death row, somebody that is in a death row, that have been condemned to death, either by hanging or by anything, such person still has the right that if he's sick, so long as he's not been killed, so long as he's not been executed, he still has the right that if they notice that that person is sick, they will treat him. For him to be healthy or she to be healthy until the time of execution. But MAZI NNAMDI KANU has committed no crime, not to any man. Yet, the right of him to call on any medical practitioner that he like to come and treat him or to go there for him to be treated was denied. Because he's a Biafran.
the way of treating somebody, the judiciary is no longer being the judiciary was supposed to know. Because what
The question you will ask this barrister, but that's not the reason why we're here anyway. The question any sensible human being will ask, which judiciary do you know before? Tell me one good thing or one good judgment that this judiciary of yours has ever stand for in the contraption. There's no judicial system in the contraption. There's no justice in the contraption. And that's why come 2nd of December in the year of our God 2024, Biafrans will declare their nation in Helsinki, Finland. In Finland, it's going to happen. And Biafrans will take the bull by the horn and do it once and for all and save our future and that of our unborn children. Thank you so much, Biafrans, men and women of goodwill, those that are here and those that will listen later. I salute each and every one of you. Francis, I greet you. Franca, I greet you. Frank Okonkwo, I greet you from here. And the Ifediche, our own Ifediche, I greet you from here. Biafra FE Tech, I greet you from here. Emeka Chibo, I greet you from here. My brother Isbo Maze, I greet you. Kevin 22, Leto C, I greet you from here. I greet you, Sonny, our own Sonny. I greet you from here. I greet each and every one of you, those that are here. Do well to like, do well to share, and do well to comment if you have the opportunity to do so. May Elohim continue to bless you and make the light of his countenance to shine upon you and be gracious to you and keep you safe in any part of the world where you are. You will never die another man's death. You will not die before Biafra is declared. You will live to see Biafra and see that freedom that MAZI NNAMDI KANU paid the price for. And see that freedom that the men of 1967, 1970 paid the price for. You will see that freedom that the Biafrans, MAZI Simon Ekpa, is having sleepless night to bring to us. You will see that Biafra that the men on ground are fighting day in out to see that it come. You will see it in a good faith. You will see it in good health. In the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama. Thank you, Biafrans, and keep your eyes on the ball. Keep your eyes on the ball. And tomorrow is going to be great. Thank you so much and remain blessed. Remember, tomorrow morning, we am going to be here for you. In the evening, I'll also be here. I'll be bringing more updates to us as we continue on this line we are towing to our freedom. And one day, we will be here to celebrate. And we will be in Biafra land to celebrate. And we all gather together to celebrate. Our leader said, we are going to dance naked in the streets of Biafra. We will dance like David. And that day is not far from here. Shalom, Umu Chineke. Nyamaru Numa. Kemesian. Let me put the music, one of our musics, as a closing remark. Let me look for it. Hold on. We need to play this music. Oh, yes. We must have to play a music. Play this music. To remind you of the sacrifice that is still ongoing today. The sacrifice that is still ongoing even to today.
Hey, Africa, did you know that
men have not given up.
Judgment Day is coming. Vengeance is a monster of appetite, forever bloodthirsty and never filled. I repeat, vengeance is a monster of appetite, forever bloodthirsty and never filled. And is a quote by Michelle E. Goodrich. History will remember 2021, the year that the enemies of Biafra came into our land using our own people to kill a defender of his people. We are going to mourn Ikonso in a very special way. Very, very special. He was undefeatable. We drove the Fulani people away from Imo State, did gallantly well. Ikonso is more than another. And we are going to mourn him in a very special way. We are going to bury Ikonso in a very, very special way that history will remember 2021. Therefore, we must fight this very fight. We lost Ikonso at the hands of cowards, wretched, idiotic cowards who cannot fight a good fight. They did not engage him in the battlefield as they have been lying, because in the battlefield Ikonso is more than 1 million men. A man that is defending his land. A man that was defending our mama, our Idemili, from the ravages and excesses of Fulani terrorists and state-sponsored terrorism. On one hand, we are fighting Fulani terrorists and killers, and on the other hand, we are fighting governors who are hell-bent on killing us for fighting those that have come to kill us. Ikonso was not killed during any shootout or confrontation. Ikonso was killed in his village, in his kindred, in the middle of the night, not on the battlefield. Because on the battlefield, there is no way any detachment of any army or any police or any idiot can defeat him. These are men that fought for their land without receiving one dime in payment. Opo Zadema and his family masters cowardly and wretchedly killed a man who was unarmed. His fight was against Fulani terrorism in our land, and they killed him because he refused an offer made to him by the same Opo Zadema. He was the head of a volunteer army under oath to defend the land of Biafra. And these cowards, wretchedly and idiotically, in the middle of the night, as cowards always do, to sneak up on him. They said it's a combined team of police, army, and DSS. Ikonso will be buried in a very special way, I show you. Not even the burial of the Oba of Benin will be as remarkable as his own burial, I assure you. In the middle of the night. Not on the battlefield. Because on the battlefield, there is no way any detachment of any army or any police or any idiot can defeat him. On one hand, we are fighting Fulani terrorists and killers, and on the other hand, we are fighting governors who are hell-bent on killing us for fighting those that have come to kill us. A man that was defending our mama, our Idemili, from the ravages and excesses of Fulani terrorists and state-sponsored terrorism. Farmers cry out in Ekiti State. Guardian newspaper publication. Farmers in Ekiti State have raised concern over their inability to go to farms due to attacks and destruction of crops by herdsmen. Is this being written about Imo State? Do you know the reason why you're not hearing this type of news in Imo State? It is because of Ikonso and his gallant men under his command in Imo State. Because of the Ikonso Eastern Security Network, what they are doing on the ground in Biafra land, this type of news emanating from Ekiti State cannot be written about Imo State. Ikonso is in heaven. And he is going to be avenged. My God, he will. The bravery, the gallantry of these men in ESN.
Imagine the freedom of not
fresh, and no army can even fight two enemies at the same time and survive. They are fighting three enemies, and they succeeded in the objective as I gave them. Do not allow any Fulani terrorist activity in Imo State. It did not happen. They are fighting Fulani terrorists. They are fighting Nigerian army, which is essentially Fulani terrorists in the army uniform. That's all they are. They are fighting also the police. In fact, I should say 4. And they are fighting the Fulefus in our land. Hope Uzodinma and co. We did not go after Hope Uzodinma. We were only facing the enemy in front of us. Fulani terrorists masquerading as herdsmen. And today nobody can say, unlike before, that there are Fulani herdsmen attack anywhere in Imo State. Is not possible. What Hope Uzodinma was seeking to achieve, Hope Uzodinma and all the idiots in Ohanese and Yatron and Dushi, what they want to do is to fight Eastern Security Network, to pave the way for Fulani terrorists to come in and take over our land. The media houses in Nigeria is a very big shame, I must tell you this. They were reporting that the consul died after a firefight with the army and the police joint patrol. Nobody told them, they never investigated to ask the police or the army. They did not go to his house to go and kill him where he was sleeping. Where was the firefight? With who? And that is why everybody who is a frontline commander in ESM must be very, very careful. They will go to your village and they will bribe your villagers. They will give them money, as was the case with the consul. Just tell us anytime you see him. That was all they did. Because he came to his father's house, into his village, that he has been fighting to protect against the ravages and excessive use of Fulani Janjaweedism and terrorism. There he was betrayed in his father's compound, in his own land. These cowards came. Cowards they are. For only one man, with everything they had with them. Judgment day is coming. Judgment day is coming. They are trying to use their deceptive Yoruba media to demoralize the people, to make you turn your back towards Eastern Security Network that have so far made it possible for you to go to farm in peace in the state. Very concerned. They know that ESM is invincible. They just got lucky. That's all. He calls someone to his father's house, having driven away Fulani.
Money no dey hang.
Exclusive.
Because
Happy condolences, the very great and talented. Because which is the chalice of God, the Holy Grail himself.
Freedom fighter man, Igonso is our hero. Igonso in the resting of the paradise. You fought like a soldier, and you died like a soldier. You never betrayed our motherland. Your legacy lives on. Never betrayed our motherland. Your legacy lives on. You are a gallant soldier, a fervent soldier, benevolent soldier. My brother, you will live on. Because you will live on. Because
Because it's appointed unto man to die in the world. It is the way you die. It is the way you exit the state of man.
The sudden death is unbearable. I feel the pain from my innermost heart. It's just hard to say goodbye, my hero. You left us, but you leave us. All on our walk, and Chekwala Biafra. Njinji Chireji, Ala Juroi. Yeah, in Lorota, ESN Commander. Umunde Rayane, Konsamola. You are innocent, you offended nobody, but they choose to kill you. You offended nobody, but they choose to kill you. We revenge them.
There will be no mercy. There will be no mercy, I'm telling you. God, let us step forward. Because the will and the vision of God in the evening.
Because of your death will be remembered. Because you are a hero.
As Biafrans mourn you, the whole world mourns you too.
It truly pains my heart that you are no more.
You are a hero.
The shock can never go out from my heart like you. Continue fighting.
You are a hero.
Your sacrifices will never be forgotten. The real get Biafra reincarnate soon.
And the council will be avenged without apologies to any idiot wherever in the world. And the work is ongoing to that effect. And we're not going to stop until the heads are complete. 2,000 of them.
We are not going to stop until Biafra is restored. And this year, 2024, it is going to happen. Thank you so much, Biafrans. We are going to call it a day from here. It is evening. I salute you all. May Elohim bless you and keep you safe, both now and forever. He said,